Walk up in the life. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Diamond Duos podcast. My name is That Gaming Dad 25. As always, it's my co-host Josh UK.
What's good, everybody? And
today, I say this every time, but I genuinely mean it this time. We got a special guest on the podcast. This guy, you know, he's been verified by some of the bigger names in the community, from DBG, the Ty Debo, to Brutal Sim. They've all, you know, vouched for him. He's grown very quickly in about 5 months, at least, you know, on this channel. And that's who my boy Books Nelson. Say what's up to everybody, man.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming by, man. I must say, the first time I saw your channel was when Brutal Sim reacted to your video about like the state of like why 2K is not going to stop gambling anytime soon. And first of all, I love you, Brute, but I will say you did a shitty job of letting me know who Books Nelson was. I think you said his name like one time. And I listened to videos like while I'm driving to work and stuff. So I like had to rewind. I was like, this dude, like he knows what he's talking about. Wait, who is he? I had to like rewatch the video like 3 times to figure out who you were, but I figured it out, and I'm happy to have you on, man.
Thanks so much, guys, and it's a pleasure. I enjoyed the show. One of my comments section folks told me that you guys had shouted me out, and I went and I watched the whole episode and just really enjoyed it. So I was glad to get the invite. You know, I wasn't going to clout chase and be like, when's it my turn?
No, I will tell you that, trust me, we've been waiting to get you on here for a while.
Yeah.
And it's actually really funny that when you came in my comment section, I know you said you stream on Twitch, so you might not be familiar, but on YouTube, it's like on the chat, it says top chat or live chat. And for some reason, mine was on top chat, so I did not see your messages. And then my buddy who I was on Discord with was watching the live stream, and he was like, dude, you're just ignoring these people's messages. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you got messages from Ganja Reaper, you got messages from Books Nelson. I was like, wait, hold up. Okay.
Whoops.
And yeah, like I told you in the chat, I was like, man, we've been trying to get in those DMs for a minute, but I'm happy you came through so we can get it figured out.
Yeah, I heard there was a weird thing where on Twitter, like, so it's difficult because on Twitter, my DMs are filled with like business stuff because primarily I'm an artist. So there's a long list of DMs. So I don't check my general DMs that often because most people who are trying to get to me have a way to get to me. But you know, the YouTube thing is kind of new to me, and the way for a lot of people to reach out to me would be to like go to the Twitter DMs. I literally don't even know how that works. So when you were like, I tried to DM you, but they tried to charge me, I was like, I don't even know how that works, man. Elon is bugging.
I told Josh, I was like, hey man, one of us got to pay $10 for the one of us got to pay $10 for the official channel. He was like, man, I'm not gonna pay $10 just for him to not even read the message.
I've been ghosted once or twice. I'm not paying for it.
Right, exactly. Pay to get ghosted.
I'm all right. I'm not that down bad.
I mean, if you ask some of these guys, man, they'll be, never mind. That's a different subject for a different day.
All right.
But let's get into how we always start off the podcast. We're gonna do the secret draft. For those who aren't familiar, me and Josh know the subject to the draft. Books Nelson does not. He's got to build a team along with us in the draft. And along the way, he has to try and guess the theme for the team, all right? So if you want to play along, be sure to close your eyes right now for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can open your eyes. So, Josh, you pick the theme. Do you want to get the first pick or me?
I'll let you have the first pick.
I get first pick. Okay. I got to go, since we're probably never going to get another card from him ever again, give me Opal Kobe at my 2.
All right, then let me get 100 overall Magic as my point.
Okay, so can I get the season pass Kareem at power forward center?
Okay. I will take Goat Shack at my center.
All right, he's not technically out yet, but I'm going to take Goat Giannis at my power forward.
You thought it was going to be something as easy as all Laker players, didn't you?
I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. All right. So what I'm noticing so far is they are all really like high level Hall of Fame players. So can I get Can I get LeBron at the small
You can get
forward?
LeBron.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll take the. Can I get the Invincible?
Go ahead, do your thing.
Sir.
I will take
Well, I'll take the Invincible.
100 overall KD. Wait, we got 100 overall KD, right? I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
but somebody does.
Very few
Give
people
me
do.
100 overall KD at my 3.
Okay. Let me get Goat Jordan at my shooting guard.
Okay. And wow, Goat Jordan. And who did you just pick?
I took
Dad?
KD.
You picked KD. So can I? This is interesting. Can I get Clay at the 2?
Take him.
Yep.
It's all you.
Okay, let me get 100 overall Clay at
I
the
need
2.
a 4 and a 1. I'm gonna go with the 1. It wouldn't be the list without Allen Iverson. Give me Invincible Allen Iverson at the 1.
Okay. Let me get Pink Diamond Ben Wallace at my center.
There we go. I was thinking about it. That's a cheat code.
Yes, sir.
Let me see. Can I get Steph at the 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I will take at the 4 one of the best ones out there. Give me 100 overall KG at the 4.
All right, at my small forward, let me get Goat Larry Bird.
Nice. I like that card. Can I get Goat Dirk at the 4?
Yeah.
All right. I get Goat Dirk at the 4.
Low key. Okay, so low key, your list is kind of valid.
Okay.
So let's go back down the list one more time. I got AI at the 1, Kobe at the 2, KD at the 3, KG at the 4, and then Shaq at the 5. Josh, who was your 5?
I got Magic at the 1, Jordan at the 2, Bird at the 3, Giannis at the 4, Ben Wallace at the 5.
And then Books.
And I believe I went Kareem, not in order, but Kareem, Dirk, Steph, Clay, and who was my Bron was my small
So
forward. Yeah.
before you guess, do you want me to tell you how many out of your 5 are actually correct? Or
Yes, please.
you got 3 actually fit the category?
Oh, okay. Do you tell me which 3?
Nah,
or is
that's
is
too
that
much.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Josh, can I hear your list one more time?
Yep. Magic at the 1, Jordan at the 2, Bird at the 3, Giannis at the 4, Ben Wallace at the 5.
See, what's throwing me off is Giannis, because all of the other players are of a certain era. And Game and Dad, let me hear your list again. And Allen Iverson don't have a ring.
But my other guys do. Allen Iverson at the 1,
Right.
Kobe at the 2, KD at the 3, who was KG at the 4, and then Shaq at the 5. And I will say Josh did a good job here. We'll talk about it more after, but Josh did a good job here.
Thank you. I needed that, man.
It's not often I give Josh compliments, but
No, it's not.
Ooh.
That made my night, man.
So do I get to ask questions?
it's your world. I'm just living in it, bro.
Okay. Are my cards disqualified because they're too high? No, not because they can't be too high level, because you got 100 overalls, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if we told
I
you
don't
the
know.
3 cards that fit the category, I think it would give it away. But I'm not 100% sure. Josh, what do you think?
You could give it to him if you want.
Ayo, okay. but
All right. Well, that's not what I meant, but sure.
so
Like you said, it's your
Hey,
world.
whoa! What kind of show is this?
welcome to the Diddy party. But anyway,
Review that contract.
all right. So
right.
I gotta reread this waiver you sent me. Hold on.
So you got Steph, Bron, and who else? It was Steph, Bron, and
I think he only had 2.
no, because Steph, Bron. Then your 2 was Clay. Clay doesn't. Kareem doesn't.
Dirk, I don't think Dirk does
Dirk
either.
does. No. Let me Google it.
I don't know.
It's worth a Google. Because I thought he did. Yep. Dirk counts.
Oh man. I can
Are these people
Wait.
who played in
Hold
international-
up. Kareem counts too. Oh shit.
I got 4 out of
4
5.
out of 5.
Oh man.
Well, listen, I'll take the W and getting 4 out of 5. So what's the thing?
NBA 2K cover athletes.
Oh, go. Nice. Wow, that's pretty close, dude. That's a pretty good draw. I got pretty
And
close.
I was
there.
gonna take Ben Wallace because he was on ESPN basketball.
Oh, that should have showed it right. Because he was the standout too, the Pink Diamond Ben Wallace. That was a good shout out.
All right, so
good stuff.
Let us know down below if you guys got that right or what your guys' guesses were. But we got some content to get into, y'all. We're gonna start with the hot topics, you can say, the pre-order content or lack thereof. They dropped some content, and the couple things that stood out to us is there were no My Team points mentioned in any of the pre-order content. We got the cover athlete. We got possible WNBA players in the game, but let's just start with the My Team points possibly being gone. What do we got to read into that?
I don't think they're gone. I just think that MT and the pre-order bonus. I don't think they're gone because they're not going to give us VC in My Team to earn. I just don't see a world where they'd ever actually do that. So unless they're fully buying into pay to play.
And I would say that if in the off chance it's VC only, it's going to be a scary world we live in, because it definitely means no auction hall coming back 100%. And two, the gambling is going to be way worse. Yeah,
I think MT is still going to be in the game. I think they just didn't, either they weren't ready to calculate what MT they want to put in there, or they just decided not to put MT in there at all, because, and maybe that has something to do with their information rollout with how they're going to use MT. That could be it could be a situation where they're going to use it very differently. There's a couple of reasons that I don't believe that it's VC only. Number one, if it was VC only, I actually don't even think this is necessarily a bad thing. If it's VC only, I've been saying for a while, there's no point really in having MT in the game. You could just make everything VC, and players, once they get a surplus, they can go back and forth between game modes, which is a push that they've gone through, right? By having the rewards in the season pass be for My Team, having certain things in My Career be My Team oriented. So if they want the fluidity of the game modes and they just want one economy for the game, I could see it going away, but you're right. VC would have to be earnable in My Team from here on out, partially because that's just too risky. And it would require an overhaul of the in-game economy and how you acquire things, that it wouldn't provide a path for the free players and could annihilate the mode right off the bat. And I just don't think they would be that risky.
And one thing I will say, I've been saying this for years, even before we did the podcast, before I made YouTube videos. 2K is the king of doing exactly what we asked them to do, but like doing it in the way that's still a middle finger to you. So
they are.
So if by chance it goes that way, it's gonna be a long year. Let's just put it like that. But I agree, My Team points probably aren't going anywhere, because like you said, it'd be too much of an overhaul. It would just flip the whole thing upside down. It'd be great for like park players, because it'd be an easier transition for them. Like, hey, if you want to dabble with My Team a little bit, you could play it, you know, from here and there, and you could earn VC for park and rec in your My Player. It'd be more positive for them than it is for us.
Absolutely, because it's already in a way more positive for park players. Because you guys know I'm a rec player. I play hundreds of rec games every season, and play a lot. Play with my boys. I have all 10 character slots filled. And you know, so, and several 99 overall. So I play like a lot of rec and theater and stuff like that. And Carlo was actually, he brought up a great question, because he was like, man, should I even grind the My Team agendas, or should I just grind My Career and bring the VC over? And as a park player, well, you know, really more of a rec player, I'm like, yeah, sometimes that's my question, right? Where there'll be agendas in the game, and I'll look at the VC prices in the game, and I'm like, you know, and Brutal Sim talked about this today, shout out to him, you gain a lot of VC very quickly in the rec, right? Because you have your personal quests. If you have multiple characters, you can stack quests. And so I can go in and come out 25K VC positive in one day and not even feel like I was sweating the mode grinding. I was just having fun, and I have 25,000 VC. Whereas if you did that same thing in My Team, even if you got to the comparable MT amount, it would feel like a grind. Like, it's not fun.
And not only would it not, it would feel like a grind, but like MT doesn't go nearly as far as VC.
Right.
And,
right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I think like definitely because like rec, like you said, rec is like something where like for us, like if you're a my team player, if you're like a 90-10 my team to rec, you could go play rec and feel like even if you know you lose, if you're not having the most fun in the world, you're gaining VC. If you're a rec player going to play my team and you're like, yeah, it's whatever, you're having a little bit of fun, you're not gaining anything from it.
Well, there's one thing that you do gain. And before I talk about this, I will mention one point is the one reason to keep MT in the game, and I think there's probably only one reason, is that MT has inflation, right? And deflation. So as the year goes on, MT can be worth more or less per card. Whereas in the Park My Career mode, it's a fixed economy. VC is always worth the same thing. Attribute costs don't go up and down. Sneakers don't go up and down. Everything you purchase is the same price all year. And having VC be attached to a sliding economy would open some cans of worms I don't think that they want to do. But for my career guys, I tell them all the time, season pass progress is so much faster if you play both. I've been level 40 for like a week, right? Because I just grinded my team coins, and I also had the ability to do rec coins. And if you do my trick, you know, plug incoming, and you basically play quick games for the first part of your coin, and then just before your coin runs out, you play a long game. So in the rec community, this looks like playing theater for 25 minutes. And then at some point in the last 5 minutes, you go play a rec game. You'll get twice the value out of your coin, right? And if you do that, you can fly through the pass. Most my career players aren't aware how fast you can get through the season pass.
And then that's one thing. Like, okay, first of all, if you're watching this, you haven't followed Books Nelson on YouTube, you need to, because half of his content is informational like this. I watched your dribble tutorial. Asked Josh how that went. I watched the most recent one, how to grind your VC through career. I haven't tried that one yet. Gonna start trying it. But if you haven't, be sure to follow him, because he drops when there's my team news, he's the man to go to now. He's dropping as soon as it comes out, and he's dropping informational content. So let me start with that. Be sure to follow him there. I should have said that from the beginning. My apologies. So this one we will gloss over because it's not really content related. Jason Tatum on the cover. Dub or L?
As far as player select, but the cover looks very like someone who's never used Photoshop a day in their life. I feel like I got together.
Do you think I could have did better, Josh?
Easily. Like, I mean, I've seen so many different concepts just from Twitter of people making Jason Tatum covers, and I'm like, that looks way better. Like, way better. Because, I mean, it looks like you just took a picture that a photographer took and posted it on NBA's website or on their Twitter page and just place it on the cover of the game. There's no, like, creativity.
We did it!
Yeah. Like, you could have at least got that picture. Like, you're just standing there. But, I mean, I like Jason Tatum as the cover athlete. He just won a championship. He's in close proximity with 2K forever, it feels like. So it made sense to choosing him.
All right, what about you, Bugs? W or L? Jason Tatum is the cover athlete.
Well, as far as choosing Jason Tatum, can I draw a W with like a L at the end of it? Because
like on some Waluigi type shit.
Yeah, exactly. Because okay, the Celtics won. First of all, if you're not in Boston, it's an L just because we hate to see.
I think
Celtics
everybody
succeed.
outside of Boston hates to see Boston win. So
yeah, so we're in the darker timeline right now. That part's an L. But you know, all kidding aside, Jason Tatum wasn't Finals MVP, which I don't think is a prerequisite. But if you're not the best player on your team, which I think Jason Tatum might be the best player on his team, but he's not always the best player on his team. That you can't argue.
Yep.
He's not always the best player on his team. Most great players aren't always the best player on their team, but they're 9 out of 10 times the best player on their team. He's only the best player on his team probably, like 5 out of 10 times. Other times it's Derek White or Drew Holiday. That's the kind of team they have, right? And then usually it's Jason Jaylen Brown, who's the best player on the team when Tatum is not. And so for that reason, I just asked myself to answer your question, why is he the cover athlete? Like if I was to ask that question, why is he the cover athlete? Well, the easy answer is, well, he won a championship. Well, Jaylen Brown won the championship and the MVP. So if they were both on there, I would have my answer right away. I would be like, oh, okay, the Celtics are on the cover. That's dope because they both kind of, it's like a Isaiah Thomas Dumars thing. You kind of can't have one without the other. Cool. But when I asked the question of like, why is he the cover athlete? I don't really have an answer for that beyond the fact that he has a good relationship with 2K and he's the quote unquote more popular, more pushed athlete. And I don't love that. I don't love that.
So I will say this, you fed right into my point. I think they probably, like, let's be real, they made this choice months ago, right?
Yeah.
I'd say 3 months ago, Jason Tatum was the most popular player on the Celtics. He was in a top 5 discussion. This isn't a basketball channel. We're gonna talk hoops for a second. He was in the top 5 discussions. I said he wasn't a top 5 player. You could shoot me if you want. Jaylen Brown was hooping, but everybody said Jason Tatum was 1A, Jaylen Brown was 1B, until they were on the main stage, and then people started talking like, hey, Jaylen Brown kind of has been hooping in the playoffs, Jason Tatum not so much. And then Jason Kidd made the comment like Jaylen Brown's the best player on that team. Jaylen Brown outplayed them the entire final series. It's starting to look like, hey, it's not necessarily 1A, 1B. It might be 1A, 1A. I'm not going to argue Jason Tatum's not the better player, but Jaylen Brown's making the case for that contract he got. And
you know what I think hurts it a little bit? It's not like a Shaq and Kobe thing, where even though Shaq was the best player during their three-peat, Kobe was also really, really great. Almost similar to how Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum used to be, right? Where it's like, okay, one guy's better, but the other guy's really great. Okay, cool. The difference in the finals was a matchup issue, right? Kobe was the main weapon in a lot of the Western Conference series because of matchups. So he was just abusing Doug Christie and Manu Ginobili all through the playoffs. But then when they got to the finals, Shaq is looking over at Mutombo and, who were like Todd McCullough or something like that, and Rick Smits, and he's like, I got you, Kobe. Yep. This is barbecue chicken. And the Lakers knew that. Like, Kobe was on board with that. If it was a situation where they faced the Mavericks and Jaylen Brown just had a way better matchup, I wouldn't even be saying this. But that wasn't really the case, right? Like, he just kind of played better than him.
But also, by Game 5, they were actually pushing the narrative, though, that Jaylen Brown was going to be the MVP. Like, Jaylen Brown, he knew what he was doing, picking up Luka full court, and then they played the little snippet from the sideline with Jaylen Brown telling the coach, oh, when Luka's in, I'm in. They knew they were pushing that narrative. They knew exactly what they were doing, and I knew from that moment, Jaylen Brown's got the MVP in the bag. Like, no questions asked.
And Gaming Dad, to your point, what other top 5 player would have had that done to them by Jaylen Brown?
And Jaylen Brown's like, he's a good, I would even say great defender. But what he was doing to Luka, man.
He had him in hell, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's great. Great
Luka
stuff.
almost call him the N-word, but let's move on.
Let me check that waiver again. Let me look at this waiver. Hold on.
If you come on the pod, I'm gonna say some reckless stuff. That's one thing. I speak my mind. All right.
That's facts.
So
I'll say something that's a point.
So one of these days, when cancel culture gets a little bit stronger, just a little bit stronger, yeah, they got me. But all right, so
not strong enough yet.
Not strong enough yet, But so we got potential. Once again, this is all speculation. I didn't even mention anything about this. Books, I already watched your video, so I already have your idea on this. But you can go gloss over it again. WNBA players possibly making their way into the game. Josh, how do you feel they can do that and make it, balanced-ish?
I don't really think that. I think them bringing the W back kind of like signifies that they're going to keep them in their own lane. I don't know. I feel like for some reason they're separating the two.
Separate but equal type shit?
Yeah. I don't know.
No, don't say that.
No, I'm saying like, yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Like, I don't know. I don't see them allow, like, definitely not in my team. They're showing you right now they're only giving coaching stuff. I just don't see them doing it. I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I just don't see them actually doing it. You know what I mean?
And they've been hinting at it since like last year. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah. I think they should do it, especially in like the park. And my team, I mean, they're not really height runs the game for the most part, so they're probably not going to get used. But like in the park, who cares, man? Let women and the men hoop in the same park.
In rec is going to be nothing but TikToks. We took 5 women
Griner.
to the rec.
I'm making a Brittany Griner bill day one if they do.
Facts. But Books, I'm not going to repeat your whole video because I like you nailed it in my opinion. But I'll let you go over some spark notes on your opinion on this concept.
Yeah, I'll try to run through the concepts real quick. So concept number 1 is that the WNBA and the NBA being partnered with 2K have an interest in the WNBA rising. And with Caitlin Clark making the league more popular, and for those in my comment section who thought I was saying that the league is popular, no, I said it is more popular, which is a numerical fact.
The seats aren't empty anymore.
Right. Argue the math, not me. Right. As it's getting more popular, they have more reason to invest in the WNBA. So when we talk about female players in the game, we have to look at, does this enhance the image of the WNBA or does this undermine the image of the WNBA? And so the key issue is, in my career, all of my career players are based off of NBA players, right? They are based off of NBA archetypes. In fact, after you make your My Career player, it tells you the NBA players you are similar to. So if we were to draw a parallel path and do that with a female My Career player, is she now going to be compared to male players? Does that undermine the WNBA? You finish making your created female character, you're all happy, you got her archetypes together, and you're so excited. Is she similar to Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson? No, she's similar to Allen Iverson and Steph Curry. Like, that's not a female My Career player. That's saying that it's not worth it to invest in the female side of the game. And when they talk to WNBA athletes about being more like the men's side of the game, they always get upset and go, no, we don't need to dunk. We don't need to be like the men's game. Our game is good enough. And so when I look at those talking points, whether you agree with them or disagree with them, I ask, is the NBA bringing those talking points to the table for the future of how that mode is treated in their game and how the other parts are treated? And in that sense, Josh, I actually kind of see it opposite you to some degree. I think they work fine in my team. Now, there's one elephant in the room when it comes to my team, and it's not the balance of it. We can talk about that. It's the fact that at some point it leaked that they didn't want girls being part of like the mean animations, right? So the hard fouls, getting dunked on, and some of those dunk animations are hilarious. You guys have all seen, like, you know what I'm saying? So when you stick dunk somebody and they go into like rigor mortis and tip over, like, they don't want to see men doing that to women. It's not about women being on the receiving end of those animations. It's about men being involved with women in those animations. Now, I think that's a get over it point, because I don't think female basketball players care about that. I don't think women care about that.
Yeah, because if you hoop, you hoop. You know, like,
exactly. I think that's like the babying and the the placating and the condescending part, where they go, oh, we want to protect the girls from playing basketball in a video game. Like, I actually think that that's a non-point that feels really good in marketing and PR meetings with people who are sponsoring your game. But if you actually do it, the sponsors don't go anywhere, because now the sponsors have to say, oh yeah, we don't support treating women equally in the sports game. Like, no, they're not going to do that. That looks bad on them. It's one of those things that's scary when they bring it up, but if you go ahead and do it, it's not an issue. So the thing about my team, if you bring women into my team, WNBA players, early in the year, they can actually be meta. Yeah. Right? All of them aren't going to be better, because all of the men aren't going to be better, right? What part of the year is Muggsy Bogues the best card in the game? Never. But so your smaller guards are going to be less good, but your larger female players, and when I talk about guards, 5'10" to 6 feet, those players and the forwards, if you put them out of position, if you give them the right SIGs, even if you don't juice, their athletic abilities, if you give them the SIGs and the ratings before you give them to the men, they will be viable. So if they're the first recipients of that treatment, and I think this is something that overall 2K needs to do better on the men's side of things as well. Stop giving centers elite jump shot bases and SIGs before you give it to Allen Iverson.
Yeah, because example, like Isaiah Thomas, the Pistons Isaiah Thomas, when's he ever been good in 2K? At any point of the year.
Right.
He had a glitch card a few years back that was solid. But
Was he though?
yeah, at the time he was.
Because so let's just say with the height thing, like isn't Caitlin Clark like 6'2"? Like she got some size on her. And
she's not small.
And you know, like you said, some of the forwards, like realistically, if we're not just bully balling, a lot of those WNBA players can play if you make their SIGs right. Obviously,
yeah, she's 6 feet. She's 6 feet by the way. So let me give you guys an example, right? So say this year we're in November, and Pink Diamond Caitlin Clark gets released, and she's in packs like anything else, and she's basically just a really good Caitlin Clark card, except she has patty base. Does she get played?
Probably.
At least bare minimum,
right?
I'd fuck with it in triple threat, like.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? So and I think that's all that's necessary, like, because and then the thing is, it does create a situation where if they have WNBA Invincibles throughout the year, will they be meta? No. But will people go online for fun and try to beat people with WNBA players, even though their players are too small? Absolutely. Is that a bad thing or a good thing for the game and for fans of playing female basketball players? And that's an open question. That's not a rhetorical question. That's a question I want everybody to actually ask themselves and think about.
So I have a question too. So would making the WNBA players free, would that be belittling the WNBA?
Yeah.
Because here's the only reason I say this. We got a 100 overall Jerry West card in the game. Who, if Jerry West was like in packs or even a grindable card, people would have zero interest in him. But I see him every other unlimited game. I see him in co-op. I see him in triple threat. And he's a hell of a card. He's a great card. So, like I said, you can call it belittling, but if you give it for free and it's a good card, they're going to be played.
Well, I think I think some WNBA players should be free just the same way some men are free. Right, so if it's part of a promo or a season pass reward, then yeah. But I think early in the, and I want to focus on that early in the year, because like Josh said, past a certain point, height becomes much more of a factor. Yeah. And your player being too small could be the reason you're losing. All right, I think it's less so in this year than it has been in previous years, because I think SIGs run the game at least as much as height, if not more. Right, I always say, give me Patty Base and Jamal Murray behind the back, and you can have a garbage 6'9" shooting guard. I'll take the car. I'll give me the 6'4" shooting guard with the elite SIGs, and I'll roll with that. Right, this year I wouldn't have said that previous years. So I think early in the year you can put them in packs as long as you just balance them to actually be really good and competitive with the male cards in their own way. But past a certain point in the year, they're not going to be good. But guess what? That's a quality, because Allen Iverson deals with the same thing. Past a certain point, ain't nobody trying to use AI.
Chalk it up to the game.
Nobody trying to use. Dude, we were laughing at Diamond Chris Paul months ago.
Bro,
right?
So side note, I ran into a Dark Matter Chris Paul in co-op, and I was just like, oh, look, whose mans is this? That he cooked the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
I was like, no way.
Oh my goodness.
So now from now on, if I see a bum card, I'm just gonna assume like, hey, he might just be like that,
That happened to me on the other. Dude, it happened to me on the other side. So I got the Kareem, and I needed to do some agenda for one of these free packs, right? I think it's how I got my Sean Bradley. So I went into co-op. I was like, let me get the rebound. I'll just rebound and throw it up the court. And it was these little kids playing in the morning, right? Full on squeaky voices and everything.
These summer school kids.
Yeah. So this kid is saying through the microphone, and I'm not going to tease him, but in the squeaky voice, he was saying, set me a screen. I can hear him through and I usually don't have my mic on, but he had the Derrick Rose. He had the Damian Lillard. I'm sorry. He had the Damian Lillard. The Damian Lillard, everybody's too short, he stinks. When I tell you this kid fried the people we were playing with this Damian Lillard, I mean, he's shooting from almost half court, giving this guy buckets. All I had to do with Kareem was set screens. I had one play where I gave him a little bit of, Books Nelson channel stuff, but 99% of the game, all I did was set screens for this kid and rebound and got me some free MT.
There we go. All right, so last hot
topic. Real quick before you move on.
No, Josh. No. I'm moving on. No, Josh. No, Josh.
No. Let me go. Because I don't even remember the name of the game.
I love you, Josh.
There was a mobile basketball game where they had NBA and WNBA, and I think that'll definitely grow the WNBA because I've never watched the WNBA before. I'm not going to sit here and act like I have. I see the highlights and stuff. I think it's cool. I know a lot of players just from that game, just like a lot of people know a lot of NBA legends just because of my team. Like, nobody ever heard of Terry Dishinger, no offense to him, before they introduced him to my team, and I think that'll definitely grow their game a lot because you'll know more than just the Asia Wilsons, the Caitlin Clarks, the Angel Reeses of the world. Like, you're going to know a lot of players. And I think
sat there and thought about another name and you couldn't.
I know plenty of names.
No, I saw
but those are the three hype beast names. Like, if you're thinking of the WNBA, those are the three names you're going to think of. True or false?
That's facts.
Yeah.
Like, those are the three people you're going to think of. So I'm saying, like, that'll help people, get familiar with a bunch of different players.
Yeah, that's facts. And it's just a matter of, like, we can build this best case scenario on how they can do it successfully. What's the fact of the matter, are they? Let's just call it what it is. We're all doing all these, these different universes where they added into Park and my team. What's the matter of fact of, are they actually going to do it? And that's what we got to wait to find out.
Yeah. I would be surprised if they were in Park. I would not be surprised if... Oh, so here's my conspiracy theory. So you guys will notice that Caitlin Clark does not have a cover, and that's an obvious, easy slam dunk. I think she gets a cover next year, and that's the first year we see female My Team cards.
Yeah.
That's my tinfoil hat punch.
And last thing on the WNBA, y'all need to stop hating on Caitlin Clark, all right? Shit. But anyways, new locker code dropped with Vince Carter, Jason Tatum. I think it was the Asia Wilson coach. At first, I was extremely excited. And then, so it's good for people that, have, 7 out of 10 teams. But I have, a really good team. And none of these cards play for me. So it wasn't for me. But I can still see the excitement behind it. I still think it's like a lowercase W from 2K. What do you guys think?
The home screen.
Yeah, they're going to be playing next to Jerry West and Bill Walton, which is dope. It's good. It's good that they're doing that.
Yeah, I think it's, like you said, a lowercase W. I've been using the Tatum just because I love Tatum's jump shot. So I've just been rocking out with the Tatum. I heard Vince Carter pretty bad, but I mean, it's 2 free Invincibles. I guess you can't really complain too much.
And the coach that almost, not is identical to Popovich, but equivalent of Popovich, which is a really good coach.
Yeah, I think actually, funny enough, not to be Mr. Contrarian, I think Asia Wilson is a little bit more of a L because she didn't get, because Popovich has the strength attribute, which is a big help on defense. It controls a lot of the bumps you get on the perimeter. And the key with the strength attribute is a lot of the cards were balanced so that even with a shoe, you couldn't get over 90. And with a +6 to strength, that allows you to get over 90 on most of the cards in the game, which gives you way better lineup flexibility without having to sacrifice anything. And so her getting it on steel, most cards already have a 90-something steel that you could already get up there. So I think she's a little bit more of you missed out on pop, so here's a consolation prize. But if you have pop, I think there are very few cases where you use Asia Wilson. On the other hand, I think Vince and Tatum are W's. Tatum's a bit of an L in the sense that he could have played shooting guard.
Yeah.
Because didn't his playoff card play shooting guard, or am I tripping?
Yes.
Okay.
Literally the free card plays shooting guard. And so
for sure the same card, aren't they?
I mean, just with more strength. Same thing, more strength, right? He's basically the other card with more strength. Everything else is identical, basically. So on my no money spent, I got the one from the playoff thing. In my main team, same thing you said, Josh. I'm like, man, I love Jason Tatum's jumper so much, but I really don't feel like playing this offline right now. So for me, the locker code, I'm like, cool. cool. Now I get to put Jason Tatum on my backup. I'm still going to run with Tyrese Thomas starting. And I have that sweet, sweet jumper on my lineup. So I look at it as a W because they were just doing the cover athletes. It's not like they had a cover athlete, say Wemby was on the cover, and they didn't include him. Then I would call it either lowercase w or L. But if they're just doing cover athletes and all of the cover athletes get a card, there's not really much I could say outside of the fact that Jason Tatum can't play 2 guard.
And they all got a top tier card. So
yeah, Invincibles, yeah, for sure. They didn't like drag up Pink Diamond Invincibles like I would normally do.
All right, so Josh, you want to lead us into the blind ranking?
Yes, sir.
Before you start, or do you want to do the whole intro? I know you don't like intros and shit.
No, I'm gonna let you intro.
All right, so the blind ranking, we got a topic. Josh is gonna give us 5 things in this topic. The topic's gonna the topic's gonna be NBA 2K covers. Okay. Me and Books Nelson have to work together to rank these covers 1 through 5, but we don't know which one's coming next. So Josh, lead us off.
Okay.
All right. Now, I just sent it to you guys. The first one is going to be the 2K25 Hall of Fame edition or Legend edition, whatever it's called, Vince Carter cover.
So, Books, I'll lead here. I'll let you follow me up. I really like this cover. I thought Vince Carter was a L choice for a cover athlete, but this cover art is fire, or it's half trophy, half player. I'd be willing to put this as high as 2, as low as 3. Let me know what you think.
Okay. I would love to put this as 4.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why. I do like the trophy idea. Now, I apologize in advance. I'm going to get a little snooty here, but you guys know I do art for a living, right? So, and specifically, I've drawn comic book covers. And so a lot of the things that go into a video game box art overlap. To me, the thing that bugs me about this is it's just an AI generated crowd background with that other idea. And I don't know why they went with like these dull colors. I will say this is the best out of all of the new covers by far. But so I'm thinking of all of the other 2K covers it could possibly be. The ones that are worse than this are the ones that came before the covers got good and the ones in this collection. But if the rest of the covers are from like the past 5 years, the rest of the cover is going to be ahead of this. That's why I want to put it at 4.
Okay, so I'm not like a cover expert. The only ones that come to my head are like the LeBron one was not good. The Jordan one wasn't very good. All the ones where they had like the Dirk and those like Steph Curry, KD, those ones weren't that good. So I'm kind of scared we're gonna get a few of those. Would you meet me in the middle with 3?
I'll meet you in the middle with 3.
Okay,
I'll meet you in the middle.
We'll go 3.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's sound thinking.
All right. Now the next one is the 2K16 Michael Jordan cover.
Yeah. So this isn't. Was there 2 Jordan covers? Because this is not the cover I was thinking about when I said Jordan.
You're thinking of 2K11, I think.
2K11. Okay. I'm looking at this right now. I like the fact that they have the different pictures of Jordan in the background, different points of his career. I like the gold. This is one of my favorite 2Ks of all time. The RIP Basquiat. If you know, you know. This is tough. I'll let you take the lead on this, Books.
I think this cover is cold, right? First of all, color scheme. The Vince Carter joint don't even have a color scheme. It's just a picture, right? It's just a picture turning into a trophy. This is an actual color scheme. It's gold and red, right? And so I only have one small criticism for this cover. If you notice, his foot is blending over with the 2K logo. If they found a way to move him to the upper left and still get the Spike Lee joint in there with his foot not overlapping that 2K logo, this cover is absolutely perfect. As it is, this could possibly be the best cover on the list for sure. So I don't want to put this no lower than 2. The last thing I'll say about this cover, not only is it good to look at, but the fact that they got young Mike, championship Mike, they got the different moments showing you the storytelling of the mode that's in there, actually telling you something about the game. That's also super cold. So yeah, for me, this can be no lower than 2.
Off the top of your head, can you think of any covers that you think like immediately would be better than this?
I don't want to ruin what might be up there. I'll save that for after we see the rest of the covers.
So you're pretty firm on 2.
Yeah, I would like
okay.
to. I can't put it below the Vince. I can't do that.
No,
That's
for sure.
happening.
Okay, so we'll take it. I'll take your lead on that. We'll go 2. And like you said, it's good that you could tell what's coming to the game. They had the Jordan moments. There was a Spike Lee joint. Yeah. We'll go 2. I like 2.
All right. Next one
this is what I was afraid of.
is your 2K20 Legend Edition.
Oh yeah, that one was
See what I'm saying? This is what I was talking about.
I forgot about that one. Oh.
What I was telling you, man. I said if he pulls any cover from the last 5 years, it's gonna be better than
because
I
like those jerseys, the light blue, pink. I like those jerseys too.
Dude, this cover cold, man. If you a Miami Heat fan, you probably, I said this in my video, you probably got this picture on your wall, bro. And if you don't, you probably getting it right now. You watching this podcast going, oh, he's right. Let me go print that up and put that on my wall. I need that.
So that's 1, right? That's 1. We can't go 4 or 5.
I have to put it 1 now because it would be a hate crime to put it behind the Vince cover. All
right, so we got 1, 2, and 3. I'm scared to see what comes next.
I just want the people to know who to blame for this travesty.
Okay.
Your next one is the 2K21 Mamba Forever Edition.
Okay, so I love Kobe, but I feel like my love of Kobe is carrying where I want to rank this. Like, as far as like where we got now, I'd be told this is definitely ranked below the other 3.
I would have had this one
over Vince
based on our list so far over Vince, and then the other 2 ahead of this one. This is a solid painting. The one thing I would say about this right here is it's good and it's a great idea. I just don't think that it's executed at its maximum level. That's the main thing. The idea is phenomenal. The colors are beautiful and all of that is working. I think this concept was executed later on better in the other Kobe covers.
And I just think like the typing, the 2K21 Mamba Forever could blend better.
Agreed.
I think that's what's kind of messing it up for me.
Yeah.
But I think I'm okay putting that 4. I see your point of like it could have been above Vince, but I'm okay at 4. I'd even be okay at 5 because I don't know what's coming next.
I think 4 is the right way to go for this one. Even though, again, I love the idea. I would say this from an artistic standpoint. It's not the sloppiness of the inside of because that's just expressive art stuff. When I look at his elbow pad and his like forearm and stuff like that, I feel like those forms could have been defined with just a little stronger, sharper edges. The way you see on his shorts and his jersey, they've got those sharper edges. Typically in art, when we draw hands and stuff like that, we want those gestures to be really, really sharp. And here, it's kind of mushy and blending in with the background. So again, great idea, but good execution. So I'm fine with having this at 4.
All right, Josh, who's number 5?
I really like how this turned out for you guys because this last one I had is a troll one.
There we go.
I got a Danilo Gallinari 2K17 cover. I was really hoping this would end up high on your guys' list because
Gallinari the GOAT.
I was scrolling through cover athletes and I was like, oh shit, they had an Italy edition 2K cover with Gallinari on the front. We're gonna bring this one out.
I think our list is valid. I think our list is really good.
Oh, this is valid. No, this is valid. This is valid. We did a good job because this is like literally the same thing as the Jason Tatum cover. It's like let's get a picture of Danilo Gallinari, but also red smoke. And like, yeah, I think red smoke is tight. Like that's not a cover idea, dude.
Because I was totally ready to put Jordan at number 1, but that was a clutch pull from you putting him at number 2. It really was.
Yeah. So that D-Wade cover.
That D-Wade cover is so cold.
That's cold. That's cold.
All right, so that was blind rankings. Let us know how we did below. Let's move into the set today. So I think the set today, I don't want to like go overboard with it. Like this set is amazing. If there was a set to lock in so far, this is the one. You got, if you're gonna pull packs, I don't recommend buying VC. But Giannis plays at any position outside of center.
He might even play at center, honestly.
He might play at center.
Because I think he's 7 foot in game this year, right?
Yeah, he's 7.
Yeah, he's 7
Yeah,
foot.
he's 7 foot, so
Yeah.
you could run him at center easily.
As far as the dark matters go, you know, at this point in the game, I hate to say it, you can only really ask for one dark matter that plays.
I think Imani Bates might play.
I'm not familiar with this game.
They're gonna juice his SIGs. They're gonna do him like a Michael Beasley, if you ask me. I just feel
So shout out to my comment section. That's what they were saying. Now, I didn't say anything about Imani because we haven't gotten a card with him. We don't know what he's going to be like. We have no precedent. But with the presence of Bradley Beal there, they know Bradley Beal's a troll card through and through, right? Nobody cares about Bradley Beal except for, Mrs. Beal. So in order to get people to care about the set, you'd have to think Imani fits into that blank slate mold, right? Where he doesn't really have any SIGs, he doesn't really have any history, and they can just paint on that blank canvas. And if they do that, he could be an absolute fire W tomorrow. And and Manu Ball's a no-brainer. Obviously, that's
so I will say, if you pull a dark matter tomorrow that's not named Bradley Beal, it's a W. Because Giannis at the point guard or shooting guard, he's athletic enough. He's not like Yao or Wemby, where if you get him at like a point guard, he's going to be a big body out there, but he's a little flat-footed. No, Giannis is going to be able to easily guard 1 through 5. And then Manute Bol, I'm curious to see how they do it.
They're going to do it like Sean Bradley.
I hope not, because Manute Bol, I feel like I didn't watch Manute Bol live, obviously. But I feel like he had I didn't. I'm old, but I'm not that old. But I feel like he had a little bit more pep in his step. I feel like he actually shot the ball a little bit more than Yao. He shot that 3 a little bit. So I hope they give him a decent 3 ball. By decent, I mean like in the 80s at least, because they're not going to give him, a juice 3 ball. Sabonis, 100 overall Sabonis is going to be just a way better version of his Opal. Bol. He
can play the small forward. That's huge for Bol.
That's huge. And then Hidu, I think, is going to be the card people are going to be really surprised with in this set. We've been waiting for a good Hidu card for like the past 2 years. And I think they give it to us. And then the troll is D-Wade, but that's not even really a troll, in my opinion.
It depends on the jumper, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm a little scared of that D-Wade jumper because that position is so competitive. Because obviously everybody can get Kareem if they want, right? So Kareem at the 1 is, to me, he's just a demigod. He's absolutely Thanos. So now you're talking about backup 1s, and Shea is still absolutely viable. That Lonzo ball that was available on the wheel and the door game is incredible, by the way. Like, a lot of these cards that were kind of rare got overlooked, and Lonzo's one of those cards. I think Lonzo is almost as good as any point guard in the game. He defends out of his mind. He's got all of the great SIGs. His jumper's fantastic. No notes, right? So with that being said, then Wayne Wade, it's like, well, how do I play you? And so if you pull a card that has no chance of playing, that's what I think makes him a troll card. Not that he just stinks, but that there are other cards you'd play ahead of him, too easily.
You know what I actually just realized? I don't know how I didn't see this at first glance. He do small forward point guard.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what makes Hidu more viable, because he could reasonably be your backup point guard to Kareem. Or what I'm a fan of, a card like Hidu that could play both positions well, is my opponent playing tall guards? Okay, then fine. I'll switch over to Hidu and have some lineup versatility. But if he's playing small guards, then okay, cool, I can play with scorers I'm a little more comfortable with.
And that's what I've learned to do recently, because I used to have 3 goals at the end of the bench. And then I got tired of my players getting hurt and not having the backup option. But so when I added, because Ron Artest was always my backup 2 guard, Dark Matter. And then Ron Holland got pushed to like off the squad. But I had him to the end of the bench. And what I realized is, like, if I'm playing the guy that can't guard me, he's playing on-ball defense, I put Ron Holland in. If I'm behind and I'm like, man, I just need to clamp up, I put Ron Artest in. Hidu could be that. He could be that, I need a big guard who could score. Or if if you don't necessarily need a big guard, you see someone you could just hoop with, you could go with somebody else.
Yeah, I think tomorrow's set is looking pretty good. As you guys know, I do the breakdowns in the morning. And I'm not saying this like for, I don't want to do it until I do my video. It's not that. The reason, honestly, I never really was into the preview thing, but my viewers wanted it, so they like those videos so much. I was like, all right, I'll do the previews, because I'm a firm believer that I like to look deep into the cards and I like to play the cards before really judging them. But at a glance, what you hope for, I think, in this set is, if you were pulling, you want to get lucky between what you pull and the dark matter that you get out of the deluxe pack. If you get that, and you can get an exchange dark matter pack, then you can have a lot of currency left over to take some swings at this collection without absolutely breaking the bank. And I think for the most part, you'll come out a winner. But guys, I got to bring this up. These special inserts to me just poison the well, man.
Yeah.
Like Drew Holiday, Halliburton, and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is going to be a good card.
And that's about it.
Yeah, Halliburton stinks. And Drew Holiday is going to be nearly identical to his free dark matter, who is admittedly a solid point guard. But see my Dwayne Wade discussion for that, right? So it's like, why are you ruining my odds with 3 cards I don't want?
And I realized they like to do that. So what were we saying? Oh, so I was gonna say. So I feel like they always want, like, it's such a troll that when we had the GOAT cards that were like cards you didn't want at certain positions, then those were the watered down cards, right? Like Larry Bird at center, stuff like that. And now that we got a player that can legitimately play 1 through 5, like, nah, there's gotta be some troll cards in here somewhere. Hold on.
Yeah.
They have to do something, right?
I don't think they do.
It's an Invincible. They got to do something with Halliburton.
Nah, I think it's going to be the same, man. I think that card is going to be hot garbage.
I mean, I think it will be too, but you would think they would want the card to be somewhat.
No, I would think we would want the card to be better.
Imagine they dropped Tyrese with Patty, though.
As a Knicks fan, I support their current treatment of Tyrese Halliburton.
Bro said they're going to drop Tyrese for Patty. What are you smoking, and where can I get it?
Hey, no worries. I'll show you whenever I come out to LA.
But
maybe,
go ahead, Josh.
I mean,
but overall, this is probably, I'm not gonna lie, it's the most excited I've been about a set in, I'm not gonna say a minute, at least a month. Is that valid? I think a month.
Yeah, I think that's valid, just because the 100 overalls last week, it was just wilt for me. Yeah. It was wilt or bust, right? And I know you guys were talking a little bad about Sean Bradley. I actually really like the Sean Bradley card. He plays great for me.
So the only reason I would say Sean Bradley's not very good is because when people off-ball against me, normally I don't have an answer for it. When I see Sean Bradley, whoever Sean Bradley's guarding, he can't guard them.
Ah, okay.
And so I'm not I'm not good at dribbling. I'm not that great. I use the the inside out cross, Yeah. So little promo. But Josh heard about it. But so when I see Sean Bradley, all I gotta do is that move, and Sean Bradley is toast.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. So moving on, we got the Invincible leak.
Yo, guys, how bad do those cards look, man?
Oh my god! Like,
yikes! Yikes!
Yeah.
What? Gary Payton. It was Gary Payton.
Vin Baker. Have we got a Vin Baker card this year?
Probably. Yeah, we have. His card was okay. I think we may have gotten 2 Vin Bakers.
They might use
I distinctly remember them.
Because I
remember using a sapphire.
When I saw Vin Baker, I was like, oh wow. I was like, okay, people know who Vin Baker is. Like, I know who Vin Baker is, but like, I was like, casuals are probably like, who the fuck is this guy?
Well, I tell you what, Vin Baker not only will likely be the best card in that collection, but he almost has to be, because Patrick Ewing, as somebody said in my comment section, they don't generally like changing the jumpers when the person has their own personal signature jumper. They're much more reluctant to do that. And since they don't like changing the jumpers on Invincibles, it would lead me to believe that Patrick Ewing's not going to get his jumper adjusted.
And so we already got Patrick Ewing on very quick, and we saw that's not it.
It's fine. His card was fine. It wasn't great. And Grant Hill can't play the point guard. Yikes. Steve Smith can't play the point guard. Yikes. So what are we talking about?
Like Grant Hill might be okay.
Am I playing him over Ricky Davis and Tyrus Thomas though?
And then Deron Williams is mid. So it just leads us to, let's lead into the topic. They completely fumbled the bag with this Invincible idea.
Terrible.
And we went from a set where we got, what was it, 6 cards every week, in which we probably got one opal that was very playable, and then the reward, it depends on the week. You know, some weeks it was good, some weeks it was bad. But at the end of the day, there was always one card a week that played, in my opinion. And now we're getting an option pack where one of the cards might play, but you're going to get Allen Iverson.
I did week 1, Allen Iverson. Did week 2, Michael Redd. That's all you need to know, man. The 2 worst cards you could have gotten.
And,
yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
And I would just think, you know, and you know, towards the end of 2K, they're doing a lot of stuff right now, but this is one of the things they're doing 100% wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying on my channel, I think the Team USA idea is a horrible idea, like in its outset, because not only, so first of all, we have to go back to the accursed All-Star weekend, right? Because not only did they speed us through the pink diamonds, and you could say it was the opals, but again, those weren't opals you could get. So opals weren't in the market. So most people had mostly pink diamond teams and were trying to get an opal while also not able to get 100 overall. So 100 overalls came in and just skipped the line over dark matters and really also opals, because opals weren't in the market, right? So it wasn't like the era of the opals. Opals were special inserts and lock-ins. So once they skipped the line with those 100 overalls, and the 100 overalls and the opals became more ubiquitous in people's lineups, and then they still have to do free content. So now higher tier cards. So now we got to a place where we got to this 100 overall point too fast, right? And they didn't balance it and they didn't plan it out. So by the time the Team USA comes out, we've already had SIGs creep, we've had shot base creep, and we've had height creep. And these Team USA cards, with very few exceptions, especially since they apparently have lost the rights to use Kobe Bryant, most of these cards have no chance of playing even conceptually. Mm-hmm. The only reason Tim Duncan plays is because he had 100 overall with Patty Base.
So everybody knew. Everybody knew when they dropped Tim Duncan, it was going to be Patty Base or Riot, pretty much.
Exactly. And with Lonzo Mourning, now they could say, well, you know, we put out the opal Lonzo, we'll switch it up on Lonzo. He's not too tall. But basically, it's what this is my theory. This should have been some kind of agendas for all of these cards for free, and then you build up to either an option pack or the lock-in or whatever for the mainly good card, who's like the ultimate reward for whatever free agendas are. Because if you look at these cards, they look like free bold cards.
Yeah,
like
I would argue the bold cards were better. Well, not necessarily the bold, but like the Ignite, you know, for the time period. So Ignite, bold, you know, as those cards came out, there was always 2 or 3 cards that play.
Oh, there's plenty of gems if you go back and look. People sleep on that Matt Barnes. He had pro dribble style and one of the fastest jumpers in the game. Took over excellent defense. Obviously, you got your Tyson Chandlers, your Bill Russells. There was some Bill Russell played still to this day ridiculous defense. Like they gave him a bunch of secret stats. Like this stuff is objectively trash, and it's a bad idea from the beginning. Like I can literally look at the JPEG and be like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And then you open up 2KDB and you're like, "Yep." Also still a terrible idea. And then people get their Michael Redd and they're like, yeah, I definitely hated this.
And then I've told Josh the past 2 weeks, I got text message evidence. I was like, dog, don't do it. Don't waste your time. What was it? Was it 7 or 11 50-point games for Allen Iverson? I think 11. I was like, dude, just don't. Just please. I said, I'm not going to even attempt it. And then you got Allen Iverson. Next week, I'm like, dog, don't. He's like, oh, no, they're not even that bad this week.
No, this week's were easy. I'm not going to lie.
Like, dude, don't do it.
Hearing Josh say 11 just now, there was so much trauma built into that word that I've never heard.
I don't understand. You know how many clutch time offline games I finished at 49 points, dude? Punching my monitor almost. Like, Yeah, man. I've seen some things.
And but I just think it's weird that in this season it's weird to go backwards.
Yeah.
And they could have just did literally the same concept. They could have did 6 players, and you know there was a lot of Olympic teams and FIBA teams. You know they could have just made it work just like they did Bowl, just like they did Ignite.
They should
And
just like a late sim.
people wouldn't have minded grinding the whole thing to get the Hakeem.
Yeah.
People wouldn't have minded grinding the whole thing for the Alonzo Mourning. And at the end of the day, Hakeem's not the best power forward in the game. He's not the best center in the game, but it's a playable card.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it was super weird to go backwards with that. And you would think this would be the season they want to go above and beyond, but I guess that
Let me
ain't
tell you
it.
something, man. So I have made a no money spent account for multiple reasons. I was considering making video content with the no money spent, but I decided to save that stuff to 2K25 because the channel has enough content right now that I'm cool with it. But the thing is, when you make a no money spent account, you learn so much about the game. You learn so much more about value in the game and like different things that different people have and how long it takes to do things and how quickly you can get a good team and which positions are hard to fill. And so when I looked at this Invincible set and immediately said, you don't even make my no money spent squad, I knew it was objectively terrible content.
Because I'm with you.
Oh,
What do you
no
call
money
it?
spent?
Pro money spent?
Yeah.
I'm pro money spent.
Yeah.
So
Somebody said I need to trademark that.
Yeah, I like that one.
For the audience who doesn't know, the term pro money spent is basically you don't spend money pulling packs, but you get the pro pass every season. And so with the VC and the MT and the cards that you get from the pro pass, your team fills out a lot better. Plus you get the reward a lot faster with the extra MT coins. So with the $10 for the pro pass, not recommending you do it, just telling you what happens if you do. With the $10 that you get from the pro pass, you do have a significant leg up over true zero money spent people.
And I will say, not to toot my own horn, but as a pro money spent player, I've just been blessed with like the best pack luck you could possibly get. Like I pulled Giannis when he came out. I pulled Yao when he came out. I got Beasley.
Yeah, Beasley too.
I got
yeah.
Beasley. Like my squad is elite, and I don't think I chalk it up to just luck. Honestly,
I have 0.
Well, that's the sad thing about this year, right? Because I have friends who spend money on packs, and I really don't. I spend zero money on packs. Now, I do have a lot of VC that comes from my career, but I make so many builds, I usually almost never spend my career VC on my team, unless there's something very specific. Like, for instance, recently picking up the Wemby.
Yeah.
That was the instant, right? I was all good. I didn't get a Wemby before, and I can get Wemby. I just had the VC. But most of the time, I use the VC, I put it back into my career with a new build or something. So when I say it's pure luck, on 2 weeks, I got Bowl after ripping only 6 packs with MT. I pulled Dark Matter AK off a single, didn't pull any more packs. I literally pulled 1 pack that week and pulled Dark Matter AK. And the thing was, because those cards were worth so much, they refed my economy and refed more luck and allowed me to have an elite team and have better luck later on. And it was just 2 packs that if I had not gotten those 2 packs, my team would be way worse. And when I look at other people who are like chasing the whale on some of these great cards, just dumping money into it, and then I look at their teams and there's literally 1 card they have that I don't have. And I'm like, you spent hundreds or thousands of dollars on this game because you have a better small forward than me.
And it's crazy because that's the way 2K built the game this year, was purely luck based. Where so let me start by this. Josh washes me almost every time we play. Let me start with that. But I've been blessed to where we literally play the same way. We play no money spent. We buy the pro pass. We play about the same amount of the game. We both play a lot. I've just pulled packs and got extremely lucky, and he's pulled packs and got extremely unlucky. And because of that, like 2 almost identical players, I have a better team. Yeah, and that's the way 2K built it.
Yeah,
and it stinks. It stinks.
I got so excited out of like exchanges and the deluxe packs. I was able to complete the fireworks set, locked it in, got Ja Morant. I was like, you could have gave me any of the other 3 players, and I would have been
Josh,
happy,
any lock-in, Josh is just whoever the worst one in there. And that's what makes me, like, I'll be the type, I'm like, I'm going to do the lock-in. Oh, I'm probably going to get Ja Morant, 100 overall. Nope. They give me the best player in the set. I don't know what it is. Like,
man, you got it. I don't got it. It sucks.
It's pure luck, and it really stinks because my no money spent is cursed. I literally have not had one single lucky thing happen on that account yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
all right, so are you guys ready to get into the? It says team player build, but I'm gonna do a player build. You guys, we got 5 categories worth $5, $4, $3, $2, $1, and you guys got $15 to build the best player.
Okay.
So before we do this, we're gonna do a draft style. Do you guys want to flip a coin, or when do you guys want to be a gentleman and let the other one go first?
I accept your hospitality, sir.
All right, so let's see. So the first category is gonna be shooting.
Okay.
So this is overall shot, like, you know, overall the jump shot they use, everything. $5 we got Glenn. $4 we got Michael Beasley. $3 we got Dr. J. $2 we got Draymond Green. And $1 we got Shaq. 100 overall Shaq.
Give me Dr. J.
That was gonna be Josh's pick. I knew it was going to be.
Dr. J free. Dr. J free, man. He's an arch demon, man.
Let me get BS.
Wait, but hold on. We're not gonna walk past that. You said he's an arch demon? No way. You said that. no way. You said that.
Yo, Dr. J is so cold, dude. Like, as a rec player, when I will play triple threat and triple threat co-op, yeah, also unlimited too, but there's more stuff going on unlimited, and you can just literally stare somebody in the eyes and fry them with Dr. J and they can't do anything about it. It's a beautiful feeling.
Dr. J's like that.
He feels like the best card in the game, like when I play with him. I'm not saying he is, I'm just saying he feels that way.
All right, so I'm adding a different twist to this. So Josh, you get to pick the next category, okay? Because you said I played you last time, so you get to pick the category. So we got player build, perimeter defense, finishing, and dribbling. Which category do you want? Player build. $5 Yao Ming. $4 Wemby. $3 Giannis. $2 Michael Jordan. $1 Allen Iverson. You go first. Giannis for 3.
Budget here.
Wow.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
I gotta go budget.
Okay. Well, I'm spending.
Wait, Josh. Who did you pick for the shot? Did you pick for the shot?
Beasley. I picked
Beasley. Okay.
Beasley. Yeah. Well, I'm going with Yao all day, every day. That's he gets my money. I was gonna get Yao or Wemby no matter what you did. I'll take the Yao.
All right, Books. So you got perimeter defense, finishing, or dribbling?
Let's get a lock. Let's go perimeter defense.
Perimeter defense. $5 Ron Artest. $4 Giannis. $3. Here's a sleeper. All right, Jerry West. $2 Steph Curry. $1 Sean Bradley.
Ooh. Wow, I didn't know Sean was going to be on this list.
Don't pick for perimeter defense. Don't pick Sean Bradley.
Well, is this just going to be the starting 5s we would be going head to head with?
No. This is one player.
Oh, just one player?
One player. You're building a player.
Okay. And I've spent $7, right?
8.
No, I spent 8. I spent 8. And it was the first one was Ron,
Giannis, Jerry West, Steph Curry, and Sean Bradley.
I cannot, in good faith, spend $3 on Jerry West. I'm gonna have to spend $4 on Giannis and suffer with the rest of my team.
Josh was about to pick Giannis.
Yeah, because I don't want Jerry West, and I gotta spend $5 to get
y'all, are we not playing the same Jerry West? Jerry West gets like crazy animations. He gets bumps. Am I tripping?
Is he wearing high heels?
No, we're not talking about size. We already pick size. You got Yao, and Josh picked Giannis. So size is irrelevant right now. We're talking about just perimeter defensive animations.
I said what I said.
Yeah, but Josh, you heard me.
I spent what, $12? Damn, I got $3 next to it. That's tough. All right.
I would like to submit a "Did I stutter?" Your Honor.
Wait, who'd you pick? You too quiet, man. Shit. Okay, so we got finishing and dribbling.
Okay.
Let's go
Dribbling. Okay.
Wait, how much money have you spent?
12.
So dribbling. So let me prerequisite this. I'm not a dribble head. I don't know shit about dribbling. So Books Nelson, don't cook me. So we got $5, the new penny that's coming out at the end of the season. $4, Cody Williams. Next, $3, Ricky Davis. $2, 100 overall Clay, and $1, Dark Matter Jokic.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Clay, easy.
You got to go Jokic. Jokic isn't bad though. Yeah, I think that counts.
I'll take that. Take it.
Yeah, it's a good hop jumper. Clay has that animation too, but it's,
Hey,
Hey,
it
wins
was
the
either
win.
that or I could have used the last category. I have $3. All right.
All right, so finishing. So Josh, how much money you got left? Books?
I think I got a single.
You got a single.
I got a Lucy on deck.
So wait a
Okay.
minute. I'll just take the $1 one, and he forfeits.
So okay, so can I give my explanation on why I picked the cards I picked?
I don't even know.
So okay, so finishing, Dr. J, irrelevant to you guys. Michael Beasley, irrelevant to you guys. You guys can't afford him, brokies. Clyde Drexler, irrelevant to you guys. So I picked Kyrie at the $2
Okay.
because he doesn't dunk, but he finishes extremely well at the rim. At $1, I specifically picked Opal Wemby. Based off of experience, he doesn't dunk the ball very much. He, for some reason, if you got a 6'2" guy guarding him, he does weird layup animations that gives people time to come give help defense. And I think he's a terrible finisher. So there's my explanations. Josh, make your pick.
Draft. I guess I'm Giannis with no driving dunk.
He said, I'm not going to make him overdraft.
You got to take that alone, my boy. I'll take.
All right. So,
And then obviously, by default, I get Wemby. But I will say this about Wemby. I think if you standing stick dunk, he's going to be way better. And an underutilized tool in this game is the hook shot. With enough of a height difference, hook shots are actually very, very good. So if you're mismatched with a point guard, 99% of the community tries to drop step on a character. What you want to do is either A, you want a hook shot if you have a clean angle. If you don't have a clean angle for a hook shot, what you have to do is drop step and pass fake. That'll slide them off of the dead spot, and then you can standing dunk on them.
Man.
Game is game because I just drop step and pray I get a standing dunk because I'm trash.
You just put me on game. You're done now, buddy.
Yeah.
See, it's not all losses, Josh. You know.
So I think for the next Willa 2K Wars, I think we both got to get a coaching session from Books Nelson.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
All right, so to close out the pod, I want to get to know you a little bit more on a content basis. So for those who aren't familiar with Books Nelson, like I said, he's been growing like crazy these past 4 or 5 months. So you dropped a video. It was actually, I checked, it was your 7th video you dropped about the 2K not planning on stopping gambling anytime soon. When you started your YouTube channel, did you think you were going to get a video to blow up that fast?
I did not at all, actually. In fact, so for people who don't know me, I'll go through this real quick. I came from a show called The Sim Hangout. It was run by one of the 2K developers, the Czar. The Czar is a lifetime friend of mine. Everybody knows the Czar if you've been on 2K, right? He's one of the devs. He works on AI. Still a very, very close friend of mine.
Sim Nation, stand up.
Yeah, Sim Nation, right? So the thing is, Czar was saying, hey, Sim Nation needs to put out more content because we need to be better represented out there. So when I first started the channel, I was like, you know what? I haven't been doing At Me Bro, which was the old channel. The reason I did At Me Bro was because nobody, literally nobody, at the time in 2K20 in my team knew anything about SIGs. So I just made these garbage little PlayStation videos to be like, hey guys, look at the SIGs. And then other content creators started doing that in their videos. So I stopped making content because I was like, okay, they get it now. But with the dribbling being overhauled, I was like, okay, I think I can help the community again by showing a lot more what's going on with these SIGs because it's a new dribbling system. And even the rec and park community doesn't really know how to use it. That was why I started making the videos. And so I just happened to be like, well, here's my opinion on this. And it took off. And I was like, all right, well, like I say on the videos, the more the audience puts into the channel, the more I'll give right back.
And I would say with that video, let me just say you came with such an educated perspective on things that, like I said, I was watching Brutal Sim react to your video, and I was just like, dude knows what he's talking about, man. Like, it's not just like not to shit on nobody, but most people like, you know, make their opinion videos, but they was very shallow. You had a very deep take on the issue, to the point where, like I said, just someone like Brutal Sim reacting to it, I gotta go find this guy. I have to.
So I can't be specific because I have signed non-disclosures, but I'm not completely 100% removed from like insider culture. And that's the most I can say about that. But beyond that, just as important as my actual, you know, history of speaking to various people in the community or 2K devs or whatever, right? There's also the fact that my main job is working in entertainment. And in working in entertainment, so I've worked for Marvel, DC, Hasbro, Mattel, right? HBO. So when you work in entertainment, these companies all work by very similar structures and strategies. And so you can see the pattern of what 2K is doing if you're familiar with the industry. On top of that, as an artist, I have a lot of artist and writer friends. And those artists and writers work for companies very similar to 2K, or specifically, literally, Take-Two Interactive as well, right? Like one of my closest friends that I've, you know, worked with as an artist, I'm not going to say which company he works for, but he works for a very closely related company as well. So I'm not just guessing when I say this stuff. I've had deep conversations with people on the inside at various times, as well as my own personal experience as a professional artist working in the entertainment industry.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And one thing I will say I admire about your content, as a content creator, you had a couple videos blow up towards the beginning and you capitalized. Because now, like I said, when I think back in the day, like when I thought of like a content drop, I thought DBG, I thought Ty Debo, what's their opinion? Now I see, where's the Books Nelson's video? So
you know what? You just reminded me. Shout out to Ty, because Ty is very supportive of me and my channel, right? But, and I would tell this to Tyler's face, he is one of the main reasons I started doing videos again, because every freaking video he would be like, pro dribble style sucks.
And I saw that thumbnail. That thumbnail was hilarious.
Dude, I'm like, you know, like homeboy says, Jesus Christ on a motorbike, why are you lying to these people? Why? Every rec guard over 6'4" is using this dribble style and purposefully not investing more into speed with ball because they're satisfied with that dribble style. And you're lying to 100,000 people about this dribble style. So I had to make a video about that. And yeah, that was part of what motivated me. But thank you so much. I appreciate that.
No problem, man. And that's what the Ty Debo splash thing. When I went, like, when I was on the defense, I saw a Ty Debo video, but I feel like Splash was more educated than, you know, the SIGs aspect of it.
He knows his stuff.
Josh, anything you want to ask?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like I've learned so much from that. Like just hearing him talk about it, it's like I play this game all day, every day, and I don't know shit about it.
No. When I was making my player builder and list, I was like, he's gonna cook me. I was like, he's gonna cook me.
There really is levels to knowing this game, and I mean, we're not gonna get into ours, but I want to pick your brain about like different cards, different animations, SIGs, and stuff that'll like. I'm trying to unlock the next level.
So I tell you what, ask me one thing. Just, you know, let's give one for the people.
One for the people. All right. What is the most slept on? What do you think people want to know more?
I say dribbling. I think dribbling is such a wide. You know, as much people would like the same SIGs, I think there's so much more to dribbling than people think. So I think if you're gonna ask a question, ask about dribbling.
Outside of pro dribble style, I mean, obviously the big one. And what's some of the best dribble styles? This could help your wreck people, or if you see a My Team card that has this dribble style, what's a really good if you're trying to 3?
So if you're trying to 3 hunt, I think probably the most slept on thing about the game that I think Kyrie and Kobe dribble style can both do this is if you do a regular size up behind the back, and then you just hold turbo and go back the other way behind the screen. Because what people like to look for is a way to move left and right, right? They want to be able to move left, right freely without getting caught in an animation, without getting plucked. And so if you go behind the back and then immediately, while holding turbo, basically do what would be a Devin Booker push cross kind of animation, right? Like you do, or the pro dribble push cross. You do that in the Kyrie Irving dribble style. They do a behind the back there as well. And it's really quick. And because it's quick and loose, you can keep making decisions. And I think when people dribble, they have to divide the dribbling into, is this my end decision? Is this a starting decision? Or is this bridging the gap between between decisions? Some dribbles can be all three, right? So like the Jamal Murray behind the back is that powerful because it can be the first move you do, it can be a combo move you do, or you can do it, hit a hezi cancel, and do something else. That's why it's the best move in the game, right? And it also launches into a shot very quickly. So while some animations are great, look at how they get you into the next thing and decide how useful it is. And I think a lot of people don't do that. They just look at the animation and it's in a bubble. They look at how other people are using it and they decide if it's good or bad, if it creates like this super duper obvious advantage.
Game is game. I'm gonna have to watch that back like 3 or 4 times because I'm dribbling illiterate. Like you said a lot of things. I didn't understand what you said, so I'm gonna take it as disrespect.
I watched the videos over and over because I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? I'm like, my thumbs don't operate that way, man.
So I got a double-sided question. Okay.
Okay.
So there's 2 options here. The streets are talking. Okay. You know, I know Books Nelson's like that. Josh knows Books Nelson's like that. But the streets are saying, is Books Nelson really like that? When are we getting a Books Nelson gameplay on his channel or a rec run with Gaming Dad and Josh to show that Books Nelson's really like that?
Okay, so this is a great question, right? So if it was a rec run, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. So I'm a point guard in the rec. This will go, and now, all right, do you mind if I tell you this year of how I got to where I am from a gameplay standpoint?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I did not like any of the next gen 2Ks. I thought they were all really bad. In fact, I know they were bad, and I know why they were bad, right? It's just technical stuff and also personal stuff, because remember, there was COVID during that time, so you had a lot of complications in development. Long story short, I did not play the game seriously 2K21, 23. I dabbled much more in 2K23. But when 2K24 came out, I was really bad. Really bad. And I didn't really care, but I was like, I do like this game though. A buddy of mine asked me to play in a Pro-Am league. And I'm like, okay, but we all stink. So we're gonna, I'm straight, Facts McGee, right? So we not, lies won't help us beat our opponents. Delusion will not put the ball in the basket. Only the truth will.
I wish I knew that, man. I'd be going on hopes and prayers.
So I told him, I was like, okay, we're going to be bad. We're going to get our teeth kicked in. But I'm a former competitive Marvel vs. Capcom 3 player. So I know how to practice to get good at a video game. So I said, if we work together, you can get good at 2K pretty easily. But you got to throw everything you think you know out the window and start doing the right thing one by one. That was in, I think, December, right? Or late November. By the time we got to February, we'd gone from a bunch of black and brown plates to everybody having multiple purple plate characters. Last season, I ended the season on a 90% win record, right? So that was how I got better at the game this year. Was I got much better at the game because I dug into it. Well, I actually buried the lead a little bit. It wasn't just the fact that he asked me to be part of that league, because I didn't really care about the league. I told him, listen, that league is full of players that are okay, but beating okay players is not how you be a competitive gamer. You have to get good. That's what makes you competitive, is you getting good. Your wins and losses can't depend on your opponent. Right? And that's the thing about 2K that can make people a lot of fool. like get really fooled is the matchmaking in 2K does not give you opponents at or above your skill level consistently. They just give you opponents. So 1 minute you might play Splash, the next minute you're playing, you know, Timmy Scrubby Fingers, right? So it's like you can win 75% of your games, but if you lose 100% of your games against good players, you still stink. You're just above average at stinking, right? So once what happened was, obviously everybody in that group was not a competitive player, so there were some competing ideas. But as we began to win, you know, the ideas that work for all competitive players went out. But what happened to me was, and it's just on a personal note, I found that the competitive part of me had woken back up. And that was what really changed it. I wasn't really being competitive. I wasn't thinking about being competitive in a lot of ways. And him asking me to do that and having to like argue with people about the right and the wrong thing, for me, I believe, and this is just in video games, might makes right, right? Me and you can argue all day, but if we play a first to 5 and I bust your ass, guess who was right and who was wrong, right?
I think like Michael Jordan would agree.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's not literally always true. However, if you think about that idea and you value that idea, you always put the burden on yourself to at least to some degree be able to prove that you know what you're talking about. You don't have to turn into Ty Debo and Splash, one of the greatest players in the world, but you do have to be able to know what you're to show that you know what you're talking about in game, so that you can prove the value of those ideas. So that was how I got to kind of where I am as a player, and I'm a much better rec player than I'm on my team.
All right.
So
I
do
want
wanna
to get me
answer-
in that training regimen. I'm trying to be
Oh
tight.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a great story and everything, but you didn't answer the question.
Let me answer your question. So let me answer your question. So with the gameplays, originally, I didn't do gameplays because my view of the channel was this. I need to be able to be consistent with content. If I go the route of like editing and fancy, you know, sound, I'm not going to put videos out on a consistent basis. I'm going to quit. I think that's people's biggest mistake, is they try to turn into Henry DeBlasian on day one, not realizing that's built up over time. So I had a hardcore game plan. If I can do content quickly and efficiently and still meet the level of quality of information, I'll do it. And I'll improve things little by little over time. I'll improve my thumbnails. I'll improve my sound quality. I'll learn editing software. So I hadn't planned to do real gameplay until that cycle got it to the point where I had an editing timeline that allowed me to do gameplay and edit. Because once you start doing gameplays, going back to what we talked about, if I pull up Timmy, you know, 3 thumbs and he sucks and I just blow him out, is that a good video? No, now I have to play another game, right? And I have to play games until I get somebody that can be a good opponent. And now instead of making a video in 20 minutes to an hour, I've spent 5 hours making content. I got comic books to draw, man. Like, I can't just be, you know, I'm not sitting here with 300 subs diving into gameplay like that. So that was why I put gameplay on the back burner initially. Now, in terms of playing, but 2K25, I do plan on doing gameplay in 2K25. The timeline is lining up for that. In terms of playing rec with you guys, I'd be happy to. But I told y'all that story because I'm a point guard, and it basically comes down to
he's
this.
saying don't be trash, Josh. That's
He's
what
saying
I'm
you better
hearing.
hit your opens and play defense. That's what he's saying.
Okay, yes, I don't want to discourage that idea. Yes. However, the key to winning in the rec, right, is space. And it's hitting space as fast as you can. Anybody watching this podcast, if you're getting into the rec and you're brand new, sprint to the corner, right? If you're brand new, don't play point guard. It's the hardest position in the game. Don't play center. It's the second hardest position in the game. Play one of the other 3 positions. 2 of those positions are probably sprinting to the corner. The other one is sprinting to the hash. Do that as soon as you possibly can, and the game will become 50% easier for you. The biggest mistake most people try to do is they try to play half-court offense in the full court. And they try to start running cuts before the point guards brought the ball across court, before they've established spacing. And so they're trying to run offense in chaos. That's the #1 problem. Take it from a person who's, guys, we've beaten people by literally 90 points. right? In the rec, we've won games 130 to 15. Like it's been bad. I'm not even saying I'm the best player.
Around for that. I'll get my ass beat that bad. I'm off for the night.
Dude, well, once you hit like 30, I'm gone.
Dude, so at halftime when you're playing these games, it's like, do we want to run up the score and get them to quit, or do we want to let them score so they don't quit? It's like literally the conversation you have at halftime. But I'm not saying that to say I'm so great. I actually don't think I'm nearly as good of a player as I could be. However, that's how wide the skill gap is in the game. And the reason the skill gap is that wide is because people don't establish space. So if you go into the rec, and you guys are going to be able to shoot because you guys are my team players. And the thing about my team players is you guys are better shooters because you shoot more, right? If you go into the rec and you play 20 games of rec, you might get 30 shots. You guys are getting 30 shots in one game of unlimited, easy, right? And that's halftime, maybe.
Let me go put whoever Michael Beasley's jump shot is on my player.
Literally that. You put Kobe upper on a build and you're going to shoot lights out, right? So if you on offense go to your spacing, what the spacing allows you to do, most people have this misconception that's like, oh, I just stand in the corner all day.
What, man? Yes, they can see you right now. Do you want to come say hi?
Hi.
Come down. This way, right here, where my finger is.
This is hilarious.
There we go.
Hi.
I will say hi, but I know I'm coming through the house.
All right, they all said hi, man. All right, bye.
Okay.
Tell Josh what. Okay, Clarissa said good night. Good luck tonight, Josh.
Appreciate it.
Okay, that's getting cut out the pod. All right.
Appreciate it.
All right. So the misconception is that you go to the corner and you stand there. That's not true. What you're doing is you're establishing spacing so that you can punish the defense's bad decisions. You have to allow the defense to defeat themselves. And the defense can't defeat themselves if you're running around like a crazy person. So if you guys understand that, and we go into the rec, I could easily take you guys in there with 2 other of my buddies. And I would be shocked if we didn't win 7 out of 10 games on the night. And by the end of the night, I bet I could turn you guys into rec players next year.
All right, I'm gonna be a little shaky at first. Game 1, you're gonna have to walk me through a couple things.
Yeah.
But by game 2, I got you.
Yeah. I gotta get, you know, with my friend group, you know, everybody fits into a role, right? I am the Kobe. I'm
Josh.
chucking.
No, you're not. You're not
chucking.
Kobe.
No,
you're
I'm
Michael
chucking.
Porter Jr.
No.
When the ball touches your hand, it's going up, Josh.
Hey, I average like mouth. All right. But with my friend group, if I don't get 20 shots, they're hearing about it at the end of the game.
So here's the thing. What I love about 2K24 is you don't have to play the quote unquote meta style to win a lot of games. Mm-hmm. And the way I play is actually not a very meta style. I play, and actually it is, if you watch OFAB, his video talking about being a good guard, half of the video is him calling actions for his teammates. I love playing like that, right? Yeah, I can score, I can dribble, but for me, whatever the defense is doing, I like to punish it. And if I have a gunner on my team who's willing to press square as soon as he catches the ball, I'm thrilled.
That guy.
Hey.
And I can tell you exactly why. Here's why it's so good. Because in rec, if you press up on your man, you can get backdoor cut very easily.
That's why I got a Brom.
So, right. So if people get scared about backing up and looking at other things from time to time. So if I call a cut and his man backs off and I pass it to him and he shoots right away, you wouldn't believe how many players don't do that. They catch the ball, they pump fake, they look to see if the man is coming back. I'm guilty of that sometimes. But guys who press that square, or if you're on Xbox X button, eagerly, those are my guys. I'll get you 40.
That's what I like to hear. Let's go.
So we're gonna hop in the group chat. We're gonna get this set up. We're gonna set up a stream where we could do this, because I think that'll be an entertaining stream/video. Yeah. 2 things I want to touch on before we wrap up. 1, you mentioned about not having the perfect thumbnails, not having the perfect edited videos. This is gonna be very brief. You don't gotta elaborate too much. When I first saw like one of your first thumbnails, it was like the Fallout guy doing like this thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is goofy as hell. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But then when I saw like the Timon cartoon character doing something, and then I started to realize a theme, I was like, it was goofy as hell at first, but now when I see it, I immediately know who it is. So that's W marketing. So that's that. So you say you don't make perfect thumbnails, but in a sense, you did.
Yeah. So inside baseball, so obviously I'm like, again, I'm an artist, and so I've been in a lot of brand and marketing meetings. So it was actually an accident the first time I did it, but what I noticed was because the card art of the 2K stuff is so busy, simple cartoons make it really easy to be eye-catching, right? A simple cartoon on top of a busy background is contrast, and contrast is always good. But then I also noticed, ooh, everybody else in the community is doing like these arrows, and they've got the screamy face and so on and so forth. And so having cartoons, nobody else is doing that. And so people will know it's me right away. And for the future, what I'm eventually going to do is probably draw 10 to 25 of my own cartoons. I'll stop using the Disney stuff. I'll stop using any other outside assets and just basically have my own mascot that does all of those little reactions. But I wanted the video to build up to earn that kind of investment from me first.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, so the last thing, Josh, which has been a while since we've done this, all right? Because we've been running back the same guests over and over and over again. But it's your time. It's your time.
This is where I get to beg. All right, now you've been on the podcast for what, about an hour, 45 minutes or so. You know the vibe. Who do we need to get on the podcast and that they're too Hollywood for us?
Oh, man. So this might come out of left field. I love Carlo. And I know Carlo is a really different approach to me, which I love because I love that like there's space for both of us. Carlo was actually one of the first people to react to one of my videos. But I think Carlo, like when I look at Carlo, he got his place in 250K. And you talked about me jumping on an opportunity. He jumped on an opportunity.
That's facts.
And on the one hand, Carlo, and I say this with love and affection, is an absolute goofball, right? This guy
that's one word to use.
Right. He's worn Spider-Man costumes. By the way, Miles Morales Spider-Man, I worked on that comic. I have a costume in the PS5 video game.
I'm gonna be in your DMs about that a little bit too. Now that I can message you, because I got some questions. But I'll let you continue what you're saying.
But Carlo, what I noticed with Carlo is not only is he a grinder, he's consistent. Carlo's good at the game, and he's knowledgeable about the game. But here's one thing I absolutely love about Carlo. Whenever he quote unquote goes negative, he often makes himself the butt of the joke. And the thing about my team that's so challenging is if we're real, it's a really bad game mode in many ways right now. But nobody wants to hear that while they're trying to enjoy the game. Yep. Nobody wants to be bummed out constantly hearing about what's wrong with the game. And it's tough because I like to make fun content. If you look at my videos, if you look at early on, the educational videos, all of the videos that popped were videos of me criticizing 2K. And it would have been so much easier for me to grow way faster if every video was just dogging 2K. But I don't want to make negative content dogging 2K. I want to enjoy the game.
Not to cut you off, but I will say even your videos criticizing 2K, it wasn't even necessarily criticizing 2K. It was like, you know, what you're doing is bad for us.
Right,
but
I try to be analytical.
Yeah, but I can't argue with what you're doing because you're doing what's right for the business. So it was never like shitting on 2K. So I never took it in a negative perspective per se.
Yeah, but I think Carlo does a really good job of bringing it back to being entertaining, to being, you know, funny. Dude, watching Carlo get a bad pull is one of the funniest things in the entire My Team community. When because mind you, Carlo doesn't spend money on the game, so he grinds for days to earn 200,000 VC, right? To buy some of this stuff. So to watch a man grind for like 20 hours and then pull a bad card is not only a tragic Shakespearean 2K tale, but he exposes that and makes it entertaining. So I honestly would love to see Carlo in a different environment and see the different side of like how he really ticks beyond the persona, because I think there's more going on there than people realize. And it'd be really easy for me to be like, oh yeah, talk a good game, bro, he's a good dude or whatever. Like, yeah, obviously I can name 500 old head dudes that come on here and be really smart and entertaining and interesting, but I think with Carlo, I would genuinely love to see him in this environment and see a different side of him.
All right, there we go. Let's make it happen. So before we wrap up, any closing statements from you? You've been with us for 2 hours. You've dropped some crazy insights. We just, shot the shit a little bit, but anything you want to close out on?
Well, obviously, first of all, thanks for having me. This was a blast. And I don't know if we brought this up, but my camera is not on. So I do want to talk about that real quick because I can see how that would look weird. I'm not shy. I'm on camera more in my life than most average people are. And people who know me from the old days have seen me on camera for many, many hours. But as my channel grew, more people who didn't know who I was knew me from the channel, and they thought, oh, when's there going to be a face reveal? So for those people, I'm face revealing in 2K25. So I didn't want a face reveal on the show. Really, for those people.
Or if you want the early leak, follow me on Twitter. I found it. I found it. All right.
Damn.
My face is so easy to find on the internet. It's ridiculous. It's so not hard. Like, I'm literally in a band. I played a show recently for like a couple hundred people. Like, I'm like, cameras on me. You know what I mean? But on the channel, I don't have the camera set up, which is partially just a efficiency decision, like I said before. So I did want to address the blank screen elephant in the room as far as that goes. Outside of that, I want to look forward to 2K25, have fun on the way there, while also maintaining the ability to be real and have honest conversations about what we do and what we don't like. One of the early things I said in my early discussions was we don't have to get emotional about every bad thing 2K does. We can acknowledge it, we can point it out, criticize it, tell them we want them to do better and tell them how, without making pouty, angry videos all the time, being toxic in every comment section. This is how you're spending your time. And I'm not trying to like lecture here, but this is like what I genuinely want for people who are trying to enjoy this game. Enjoy the game. It's okay to enjoy the game. It's okay to enjoy the game even if 2K is doing bad stuff. Don't let their mistakes and sometimes flat out cruelty and evil ruin your night.
Yep.
Right? And so I think if we can keep that mentality going forward, we can simultaneously hold 2K accountable and the My Team devs accountable while also still enjoying ourselves, which I did tonight here on this podcast.
Yes, sir. I would like to extend the offer like I do always. Anytime there's anything you want to talk about, whether it's content, just get something off your chest, you are always welcome to come back onto the podcast. Our schedules match up almost perfectly, honestly. So our DMs are open, man. Anytime you want to come back, let me know.
I would be thrilled to do this show anytime. This was great fun for me. So I very much appreciate being on here and had a blast. Especially since I beat Josh so very badly in that draft. That was delightful.
Look, man, I got a Giannis that can't go. Right?
Well, next time we gotta get Josh in a secret draft. We gotta do that, and then me and you could compete in another draft.
Okay.
All right, Josh, anything you want to close out on?
He wants to admit. Michael Beasley shoot crazy. So.
Okay. How about this, Josh? Next time you can do the player builder, and you can make me look like a fool.
I think. Hey, I got
anything you want to close out on, Josh, before we wrap up?
You know, I've been saying it for months now. You got to make the most. They're not going to make it great for you. I'm having fun with it. It's not anything that. But I mean, there's things that you can do on here to like be creative, have your own fun with it. It's a video game at the end of the day. It's a hobby for most people. Some people it's a job. For most people it's a hobby. So enjoy it. Don't be miserable. 2K can have a negative effect on a lot of people, be a little toxic from time, but you don't have to feel like that all the time.
Speaking of toxic, I'm gonna be really quick, I promise. I had someone hop in my chat the other day. It was toxic as hell. I beat him in co-op, and I'm not even good at co-op. And he was telling me I'm not good. I said, I know, but I gave you 15. So what does that say about you? I'm not good, but I gave you 15. He said, run it back. I said, okay, run it back, and it disappeared. That's my spill. But Books Nelson, I appreciate you coming by, man. We're definitely going to have you back on. And as always, if you made it this far, go check out Books Nelson's channel. Go check out Josh's channel. Everybody's doing big things. 2K25 coming up. So be sure to be on the lookout, man. As always, y'all be safe. Peace.